I think my dad, being with my grandmother was very close, and my grandmother was Amritari. So, would always sit down with us as children and read us Sakhiyan, and she loved that. She loved the fact that she never let us speak English in front of her. It was always, you have to speak Punjabi. So that's one of the things I love about my parents, is that they sent us to Punjabi school when we were very young, actually, so we learned to read and write Punjabi. And I remember back in the days, you'd have the blue airmail letters, and so because we were learning, we'd read the letters when they'd come from India. We'd all sit together and, hear what everybody said. And so all of a sudden, your taye and everybody else is only through letters, because no social media, and what your parents tell you about the stories. And we used to love writing back to them, because there was a certain way of writing letters back in the days. But that was really beautiful, because actually you came together as a family. And my father loved that. It's amazing when I think back at some of the things he did. He always used to say, let's have a family meeting, let's talk about all the things that, you want to share, or what do you want to be when you grow up, that kind of stuff. And we would think it's really strange that my dad wanted us to sit and do that, but actually looking back on it, it was amazing. And I remember, the 7 of us, and the way we learnt Bar Toreras, we had the English translation, and my dad used to make each one of us read it. And, a part that can take 20 minutes would take about an hour and a half, because obviously we'd make lots of mistakes. But he has such patience, because actually we'd all have to listen to one another read it on different days. And he would correct us. And actually that's how I learned my part, and my siblings, So the fact that my father really felt so strongly about his language, his identity, is very much prevalent, I think, in the way that we were raised. It was very strict upbringing, I'd have to say. TV only came on when the BBC News was on. You'd have a small TV, not like nowadays when, you're allowed to watch anything. I remember once we wanted to watch Grease, and it was seen to be a really taboo film, and my dad was like, no, you couldn't watch that. And, the same scenario as most Punjabi families, I guess, is that, my dad would be saying, study, study, and everything was about study. And we'd say, we've read all these books, Dad, what else should we do? And he's like, well, get a dictionary and write out new words and learn new words and tell me them so I can learn them. So that was quite fascinating, actually. So when my father used to come back from work, we'd, if we were doing other things, we'd quickly all grab a book and sit down, kind of thing. And he'd be like, oh, wow, this is really impressive.